My name is Darcy Giroux. I'm one of Max's regional organizers. So I set up events like this. I'm helping to get all these electoral district associations in Calgary set up. And yeah. I'm not the great public speaker that y'all came here to see, so you'll just have to hold tight with me. Fairness, responsibility, and respect.
Yeah!
We want that. We want policy in Ottawa to be built on that foundation. So here's a few numbers. Here in Alberta, as of this morning, we have 5,200 members of the People's Party of Canada here in Alberta. In Calgary, here in Calgary, this is my hometown, we have 2,100 members. A lot of people traveled here from all over Alberta, and I want to acknowledge you. So who came here from, let's see, the Edmonton area? Who else here from other parts of northern Alberta? Yeah, okay. What about the rest of southern Alberta? Okay, yeah. So here in Calgary, we have 8 out of our 10. What did I miss? Central? Red Deer and Central, yeah. Who's here from? Okay. So here in Calgary, we have 8 out of our 10 Calgary electoral district associations with boards in place. And the other 2 are scheduled to be done within the next week. So, for those of you that are here from Calgary, and there's a few other people from other EDAs that showed up tonight, I'm going to go around the room, and if you're from Calgary and you want to get involved, and you want to meet the people involved in your riding, there's some people here that are going to be able to answer some questions for you. So first of all, Calgary Center tomorrow is their EDA founding meeting, and it's at, I forget the address, it's from 4 to 6, but if you want to know where the address is, come talk to Alex McCall and Ed Gow. They're going to be there putting that on.
Memorial Park Library.
Memorial Park Library. Shannon St. Pierre, she's the president of Calgary Confederation. We have Dave Levesque. He's the vice president of Calgary Forest Lawn. We have Dagmar Johnson. She's the president of Calgary Heritage. Calgary Midnapore. Did Sean Sands? He's the president. Did he make it? Okay, but we still have Alice Wang here representing Calgary Midnapore. Calgary Nose Hill. Arthur Cloro is the president. He wasn't able to make it this evening. Who here is from Calgary Nose Hill? Yeah. Calgary Rocky Ridge. Ian, did you make it? Ian Duff Tytler? No? Okay. He's the president. I thought he was going to show up. I haven't seen him yet, so. Is he here? Okay. Calgary Shepherd, Bruno Coons. Calgary Signal Hill, Andrew McLaughlin. We have people from out of town. Medicine Hat, Karsten Warner. We have Steve Bonner. Bow River, is holding their EDA founding meeting on November 17th, and that the person who can talk about that is Anthony Alexic. He's way at the back there. Red Deer Lacombe, we have Anik Baldwin. And the Yellowhead Riding will be holding their founding meeting on November 18th. That's Jim Cuthill, right here. Okay, so now that everyone knows their way around the room, the packed room. Gee, it's, I think we got that Vancouver crowd beat, to be honest. They did a great job in Vancouver. There's another rally Max is doing in Toronto. It's guaranteed to be sold out also. So this is a big, big deal. Everyone's real excited. And Saskatoon, yeah, when's that scheduled for? 29th of November in Saskatoon. Okay. So like I said, I'm not the guy we came here to listen to. The guy we came here to listen to, before being elected, held positions in law, finance, and banking. Very successful career. He was elected to Parliament in 2006. He served as Minister of Industry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of State for Small Business and Tourism. He served as opposition critic for innovation in science and economic development. And now, Maxime Bernier, Mad Max, serves as the only opposition in Canada's Parliament.
First of all, it's great to be here, and because it is like my second home. As you know, people call me the Albertan from Quebec, so that's why I'm proud to be here with you. They call me also Mad Max, and that's okay, because yes, I'm mad at the Trudeau government. I'm mad with these huge deficit.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one to be mad also, I think. But first of all, I want to thank you for being with us tonight. I want to thank Darcy and everybody who are working with us to help to build that party. So, some journalists were asking me some question the September the 14th. For me, it's an important date. It's the date that we decided to create the People's Party of Canada. And after I did my press conference, a lot of people were asking me questions. You know, you won't be able to build a party before the election. We don't believe you that in 1 year, you'll have a party and you'll have candidates all over the country. But you know, we are showing them right now that yes, it's doable and we are doing it right now with you, for you, and we'll be ready in 2019. Darcy also told you about the organization here in Alberta. It's going very well. Actually, we have right now more than 33,000 members only in 8 weeks. And as you know, in the House, my seatmate, it is Elizabeth May. I'm in the left corner. But she's a good lady, she's a great lady. So what we decided, she said, and she's wise, she said, Maxime, we won't speak policy, so we won't argue, so it would be a nice relationship. And we didn't speak about policy, so that's okay. But also I'm asking her some questions. You know, she has a party, the Green Party. She's the only member of the Green Party. And that party exists for the last 35 years. So I asked her a question. How many members do you have? She said, Maxime, I'm very proud to tell you we're 19,000 members. So I said, I'm very proud to tell you that we are 33,000 members after 7 years. I asked her, do you have candidates at the last election in every riding? She said, we did our best. Maybe more than half of the riding we had a candidate, but the next election we'll have a candidate in every riding. I said, good for you, because I want to compete also in every riding, and we'll be able to have candidate in every riding because we are having, right now, we have 33,000 founding members, so we are able with you to build that party. And some people were asking me, Maxime, you're from Quebec, so all your membership must be from Quebec. And actually, no, we are a national party. I just want to give you an example. Quebec, the population of Quebec represents 22% of the population in Canada. Our membership in Quebec represents 23% of our membership. In Ontario represents 38% of our population. Our membership in Ontario represents 36% of our membership. Do you know where I'm a little bit over looking at these ratios? In Alberta! Of the Canadian population, 11%, and our membership here is 17%. So we're doing very well. And I think if you're a true conservative party believing in freedom and personal responsibility, you must have a big base in Alberta. And we are having a big base in Alberta. So thank you very much. And in politics right now, I must admit, you know, when you're a politician, you have up and down. And when it's not going well, you just try to do what you believe in and you fight for what you believe in. But right now, it's my best time in politics. I like what I'm doing, and I'm speaking about what I think is right for this country. I'm not afraid to debate what needs to be done for the future of our country. And we have a lot of support. So yes, people are telling me, oh, you're working hard, you're traveling. But for me, it is not working. It is like an hobby. When you do what you like in life, and when you have the support that I'm having right now, it is my best time, and you know what? It's only the beginning. So, the question that I have sometimes is, why people are supporting your party? Why we have people who want to jump in our train and helping us to build this party? So for me, there's only one reason. Because this party is built on 4 principles: individual freedom, personal responsibility, respect, and fairness. But for us, it is not a slogan. This is not buzzword. This is what we believe in. And all our policies are based on these 4 principles. So we know, and we know people, we know Canadians, and we all together, and we in this party, we have faith in people. We have faith that you have the ability, the dignity, and the right to achieve your goals in life, to do what you want to do, without any government, specifically the government in Ottawa, interfering in your day-to-day life. And we want to give you more freedom, but also we know if you have more freedom, you need to be responsible. So freedom and responsibility go together. And with that, we can build a strong and a free country. And we will do that together. It's only the beginning. So, we call our party the People's Party of Canada. And I must tell you an anecdote. So I have 2 daughters, Charlotte and Megan, 16 and 19 years old. So when I decided, in French it's the Parti Populaire du Canada, in English the People's Party of Canada. So I said to my daughters, that would be the name of our party. And Charlotte came to me and said, Dad, I don't like the name. I said, why? You know, it's like communist a little bit. And in French, it's a little bit like the Communist Party because it's the Parti Populaire du Canada. So she said, Dad, it's not you. And I said, you know, if you have another name, let me know. So we had our dinner together. And at the end of the dinner, she said, I have an idea. I have a name for you. I say, okay, what is the name? I know that you want people, it's important, and you want to work for the people, with the people, so People's Party, you like it. But you know, you can call it the Citizen Party of Canada. I say, oh, I like the name, but there's a problem with that. CPC. Yeah. So there's one CPC, and we don't want to be the CPC. So that's why we're the PPC, the People's Party of Canada. And you know, we don't try to pander to every special interest group. We want to work for the people, with the people, for all Canadians. And speaking about pandering, I want to give you an example. We are the only party, and maybe you're fed up about that. I'm speaking about that. Bernie is all about supply management. Yeah, supply management, because it's a nice example. It's a shame that I'm the only member of parliament who want to fight for 36 million Canadians, for Canadian consumers. And all the other parties, they want to work with the cartel, 15,000 dairy, poultry, and eggs producers. They want to work for them, they want them to keep their privilege, and they want them to fix artificially higher prices for these products. And it is not fair. It is a regressive tax on poor, you know, and Canadians are paying twice the price for dairy, poultry, and eggs. And if you cross the border, you know it. If you want to buy a dozen of eggs in the US, it's about 99 cents US. Do the math with the exchange rate, it would be maybe $1.35 Canadians. What is the cost here? About 3 something and 4 sometimes. So we must abolish that cartel. It's the opposite of Robin Hood. They are imposing higher prices to poor, and Canadians are giving that to to the rich dairy producers. And it is not fair for the other farmers. These people represent only 10% of the farmers in Canada. All the other farmers, they are doing very well in a free market. So my position, I want these people to be able, we can agree on that, they're producing good products. I want them to export that. They cannot export that with that cartel, with that system. So that's why we need to abolish that, doing that on a transition period of maybe 4 years, and they will be able to be more productive, and for us Canadian consumers, we'll be able to pay the real market price for these products. But Andrew Scheer and also the Prime Minister and also the NDP, they want to keep that cartel. And they are pandering with these groups. They think that they will have more vote and they will have more seats. But we don't play that game. And I don't play that game in my own riding. And actually last week, Andrew Scheer was in my riding. And he was very proud to have his candidate. And they have, I think, a good guy, a good candidate against me. That would be an interesting campaign in my own riding in Beauce. You know why? Because what is he doing, my candidate in Beauce? He's a dairy producer, yeah. So he wants to keep his privilege, and yes, I will have to speak about it again in my own riding. But that time, 97,000 voters in Beauce will be able to decide. And I will fight hard, and I will do everything that I'm doing, like every election time. And I don't take anything for granted, but I'll speak to all people in Beauce and I'll explain that. And I think they're intelligent, and I hope I'll be able to be there and to win. But next time also, we need to have more seats. And we will be able to have more seats because we have a representation all across the province and all across the country. I was in BC yesterday. It went very well. We had a big crowd, and they're ready also over there. And what I can add, it's pandering and supply management. But also, we have other issues that are important for this country, like lower our taxes. And we want to do that. Yes. But if you ask other politicians, and if you ask Andrew Scheer, oh yes, he wants to lower your taxes. But the question is, how he gonna do that? We have a current platform. We know how we will do it. First of all, we will stop to all these boutique tax credit. That was there to buy votes. We are taxing people and saying to a special group in the society, you will have a boutique tax credit. I don't know, you have kids and they're playing soccer. We want to help you, and don't forget it, we'll give you a tax credit for that. I don't believe in that. It is not fair. What we believe in is to abolish all these boutique tax credit and lower taxes to every Canadian. So we'll do that, but we need to do a lot of reform to be able to lower your taxes without having a big deficit. So we need to do other things. We will privatize Post Canada, Canada Post. We will also end foreign aid. We can save $5 billion. It is not our role to build a road in Africa. It is not our role to send money to other countries for helping them to fight climate change. It is not our role to buy pipeline in China, yes. But it is our role to help other countries when there's environmental disaster or something like that, a big catastrophe, we'll be there and we'll do that. But we can save money abolishing foreign aid, and we'll do it. But also, we need to do more reform. CBC. We need to do it. And we'll be able to reform the CBC. And if they're so good, they will be able to receive money from their viewers. We are showing to Canadians how we will be able to lower their taxes. And we will be able also to balance the budget after maybe the second year. So that's important, to balance the budget, to lower taxes, to do these reforms. But we need to do more. We need to listen to Canadians. We need to tell them what we believe in to be able to do these reforms. And I count on you on that. You know, when I was a conservative, what they were saying to candidates during a campaign, we don't want you to do any debates. They didn't want their candidate to debate during an election campaign. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, we're in politics to debate, and I want to debate, and actually, I think I will be able to debate with the other leader when the time will come, but I want our candidates also to be able to debate, and our candidates to know our platform and be able to debate and be able to explain that to Canadians. We need you, and go on our website, People's Party of Canada, you have our platform. And actually, our platform is ready. That will be the platform for the next campaign. It was a platform that we put forward during the leadership campaign for the Conservative Party of Canada. So that's why we are having a platform. And that's why I think we are able to attract people. You know, when, a couple of years ago, when they created the Reform Party, that took them more than 3 years to be very efficient. And I think somebody in the crowd, you know that, and we have a lot of former reformers that are with us right now, and I'm proud of that. But right now, we can build a party. What took them a year to do for us, it's taking us a month because of social media. Because that we are having the platform, we are having the ideas, people are coming from the ideas. And, you know, I'm telling people, if you don't like our platform, it is okay. It is okay, I don't have any problem with that. Just vote for another party, that would be okay. You know, I don't try to pander to every special interest group. But if you like our platform, come with us, we need you, and together we'll have big chance and we'll have a smaller government in Ottawa, a government that respects taxpayers, that respects the Constitution, that don't interfere in provincial jurisdiction, and we'll be able to have more prosperity because we'll have more freedom. I don't want to forget that. People told me, Maxime, you must speak about equalization. You're in Alberta. But you know what? I'm speaking about equalization in Quebec in French also. But, you know, Andrew Scheer and the Conservative, they don't want to speak about that because they're doing focus group and polling, and maybe it's not popular in Quebec, it's not popular in New Brunswick, so they don't want to speak about it. For us, it's too important. We need to change the equalization formula. We need to have a formula that will be fair for everybody. You know, it's not fair. I'm coming from Quebec, and actually, everything that I'm saying tonight, I said that before in French. So I'm not speaking against my own province, and I said that in them in French. I said I'm not proud to be a Quebecers because we receive equalization money. And if we receive equalization money, it's because we are a poor province. And I want Quebec to be a richer province. I want us not to receive any more equalization. I want us to just stop that. And the way to do that, first of all, is to change the formula. To have a formula that will give incentive to provinces like my own province to develop their own natural resources.
Yeah.
We need to have a formula that will be less generous, that will give the right incentive to provinces. You know, we receive equalization money in Quebec since the beginning of that program, for half a century. Do you believe Quebec is a poor province since half a century, since 50 years? Do you believe that? I don't believe that. We're not poor in Quebec. We're not poor. It's because of the formula. And we don't give an incentive, and actually right now in Quebec we have surplus, a 3 billion surplus, and we receive equalization money. Yeah. So we need to give incentive to the Quebec government to develop other natural resources. Right now, the hydroelectricity, the energy from hydroelectricity, it is not part of the formula. But oil and gas, the energy from oil and gas, it is part of the formula. That's why we need to change that. And that's part of our program, we do that. And I can tell you, when I'm speaking about that in Quebec, they understand that. They're not proud also. So let's speak about it. Let's try to have a real debate with the other party, and we'll have that debate during election time for sure. And speaking about Quebec, I want to speak about pipeline. And I want to tell you that it is not true. It is not true that Quebecers are against pipeline. Who is against pipeline in Quebec?
Trudeau.
The elite politician at the provincial level. That's only that. Quebecers understand, after the big tragedy that we had in Quebec in Lac Mégantic, you remember that? The train that came in the small village over there. It was a huge tragedy. Quebecers understand that it's safer to transport oil and gas by pipeline than by train, and they understand also, they're smart, they understand also that it's safer for the environment, but also it's safer for the population. And they want to buy their oil and gas from Canada. So when you are listening Quebec politicians at the provincial level, they don't represent the Quebecers. And I can tell you that when I'm speaking for pipeline in Quebec, and they know that that will create jobs in Montreal, that will create jobs in New Brunswick, they know that, and therefore a pipeline, and we must educate other politicians, and we will do it. You know, I'm in Alberta, and my competition is the Conservative Party of Canada. So let's speak a little bit about the competition. I like competition. When you have competition that forces you to be better. So sometimes I'm reading newspaper, and sometimes I'm reading the Toronto Sun. Andrew Scheer did an interview last week with the Toronto Sun. And he was speaking about the NDP, and he said, you know, the NDP in Ottawa, they're far left, and they're not in the political spectrum anymore. And he said, and I quote, we, speaking about the Conservative Party of Canada, we have an opportunity to say that we are pragmatic, centrist, a centrist party with room for a lot of different views on a lot of different issues. end of the city collation. So, for me, so pragmatic, centrist, lots of different views, no principle, no coherent direction, no vision, pendering, trying to believe. What he's saying to Canadians, whatever you want, you will get it with Andrew Scheer. No principle. He wants to be a centrist party, that's okay. That's a good news. We are the only right-wing party in Canada now. And I like that journalist in the Sun. They asked another question to Andrew. And you can go on internet and some media and you'll see that. He said, do you have a platform for the next campaign, Andrew? Where is your platform? And Andrew said, it will come bit by bit in a couple of months. We have a platform. So do you know why? Do you know why they don't have a platform right now for the next election? Because they're very busy right now. They're very busy to do pollings and focus group to know what they want to believe in. So that's why they don't know what they believe in. So maybe you receive a call soon, what you believe in, and so that will be part of the platform of the Conservative Party of Canada. Just wait, it will come. Yeah, okay. Just wait, it will come. But for us, you don't have to wait. Go on our website, peoplespartyofcanada.ca, and you'll see our platform. If you like it, great, speak about it. If you don't like it, it's okay. It's okay. We won't try to change because you don't like our platform. Okay. So, I like what I'm doing, and I like speaking about the real values and being serious. It's serious. When you build a party, you need to build a party on foundation, and that's important. And we are doing that right now. We are having a lot of support, and I want to thank you also because we're able to raise money. We're not able right now to give you a tax receipt, and you're very generous. If you give us a $20, it's your real cost, $20. We'll be able to issue a tax credit, and in a couple of weeks from now, when we'll have the full approval by Election Canada, and it will come. It's a question of time. You just have to approve all our papers, and they will do it. I hope we'll be able to have that before the end of this month. And we are raising money. We'll raise money, but I just want to let you know that if you don't like our logo, it's okay. It costs us $5. It's important the logo, but the most important is our values. It's our values. And I had a blog for 12 years, and at that time I had a quote on the blog, and I said, and that's what I believe in, and I said, if you believe in conservative values, you must fight for your ideas with passion and with conviction. And that's what we are doing. We are fighting for what we believe in with passion and with conviction. And we are building more than a party. We are building a movement. And that's because of you. And I'm very, very, very proud of our members, very proud of our team here in Alberta that is building this party.
Cool.
And you're giving me a lot of energy. And I'm using that to do my best to represent you. And it's a grassroots movement. So I count on you to help us to find the right person in your riding, to run with us, to run for us, to help you, to help this country. That will start in January. We will have all our riding association up and running before the end of December. And after that, in January up to May, we will work with you to find the right candidate for your riding. We need you for that, and we need to have our candidates before beginning of May next year. And I think we'll be able to do that. In 2 weeks from now, I'll do a press conference in Ottawa because I have a lot of journalists that are asking questions. It's a Bernier party. There's nobody behind Maxime Bernier. So who's behind that party? So we'll tell the journalists who's behind this party. It is you, it is a lot of Canadians, and we'll do a press conference to present our board, the board of the party, and also our people all across the country. So it will help everybody because we'll put all these people, all their name on the website. So if you need somebody to help you in your riding, you'll know which person to call. So we'll do that press conference, a big presentation of the people behind the party, the people who are helping us to build this party, and I think that's important. And that being said, I know that some of you came from not only here in Calgary, but in Edmonton and every region of your province. And I just want to thank you for that. I'll be ready to do what we need to do without any compromise. You can count on me. And I think like that being true, studying what you believe in. And I said, I tweeted that for us, there is no more political correctness. We need to debate what needs to be debated. Thank you very much, and we will fight for more freedom, a smaller government, and I think at the end we'll be very successful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe if you can have a Q&A for 10 minutes, or that would be great. Okay, we have a mic over there? Yes. Okay, yes. Thanks.
Hello. Well, Max, first I'd like to thank you for bringing your intellect and common sense back to politics. Yeah. I do appreciate that. One of the things that I'm really concerned about, and I think lots of Canadians are, is we just had this election 4 years ago in Alberta. We just had this federal election, and for some reason we allow these people to destroy our country, and we can't do anything about it. So one of the questions I have is, how do you get the power back to the people? Like, why can't we get a referendum like Switzerland has, that when they try to propose these things, they have to go to a referendum to the people, so that we can lose this? So I'd like to know how you can get the power back to the people.
Yeah, first of all, right now it is not part of our program, and I hope we'll be able to have a convention before the election and to have this kind of discussion with us. And so I don't have anything about that, but it's a good idea, and we will. The goal is to have the Riding Association up and running before the end of this year, to have our candidates before the end of May, and if we have enough money also, maybe to do a convention before the end of June, and after that, everybody is going and for the election and in election mode. So, and we can have this kind of discussion also. I'm open to that. But the most important for me also You need to vote for what you believe in, and not voting against something. And that's what we are offering to Canadians. A big difference.
I want to thank you very much for having the courage to say that you're going to pull us out of, pulling us out of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me. I was introduced to you by Jerry Shakur.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm the scientist, and I gave this book to Stephen Harper to provide him with the information that allowed him to pull us out of Kyoto in 2011. Since I have a copy here for you, it's signed by Ian Plimer.
Okay.
As well, Mark Morano has now written a book called, which is perfect, it's called The Politically Incorrect Guide to Climate Change.
I like it.
And it's the most up-to-date, comprehensive work on climate change. And I'd like to give you both these books, but I also have a copy of this book for you to give to Prime Minister Trudeau.
He can read!
I will need also to give these books to Andrew Scheer, because he will, the first thing after being the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, he whipped a vote on Paris Accord. So,
Yeah.
So I'd like to just come up and give you these books.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. 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 Yeah. 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 Yes. I know that. Shame. What I'm just freedom, you know. We're in a free country. You have the right to believe in what you want to believe, and you have the right to wear what you want to wear. So that's very important. But for me, if you're a social conservative, you will come in. You are welcome in our party. That's a big difference between us and the Liberal. You know that Justin Trudeau said he's a pro-choice guy, and he doesn't want to have any candidates that are with pro-choice that are pro-choice. And Andrew Scheer said, so you don't have any MP from the Liberal that are pro-choice, pro-life, sorry. And Andrew Scheer said, I'm a pro-life guy, but I don't want any debate about it. So what I'm saying, no, I want to answer the question. I don't want to be like Justin Trudeau. If I'm saying that I'm pro-choice, I will give a direction to my party. If I'm saying that I'm pro-life, I will give another direction to my party. What I'm saying to you, I'm saying, if you're a member of our party, a member of parliament elected, that's your democratic right to table a bill on any subject. And if you want to table a bill on abortion, yes, you will be able to table a bill on abortion. I won't do like Andrew Scheer and try to find all the procedure in the House to be sure that you won't be able to do that. It's a democratic right for a member of parliament to table a bill on private matters, to table a private bill. And so if one of our MP want to table a bill on abortion, I said to journalists, yes, we will have that debate in Canada, and that's okay. And that will be a free vote for everybody. So the next question that I had after that was, okay, Maxime, you will vote for or against that bill? I said, I don't know. I need to read the bill first. So let's wait. And yes, I'll tell you an example about pandering. I was doing a radio, I was on the radio station at that radio station, but I was in a radio station in Quebec City, just near my riding, in French. And so they asked me, the journalist asked me a question about that. Are you pro-life? Are you pro-choice? So I just said what I'm saying, that if a member of parliament wants to table a bill on abortion, we'll table a bill, that would be a free vote, and we'll see what will happen. And so after that, they took some questions from the audience, and a lady called. And she said, Maxime, you lost me. I was with you, you're a good guy, but because of that, you lost me. I don't want that debate on abortion. I'm a pro-choice lady, and I don't want that. So I won't vote for you. I said, okay, too bad.
Yeah!
I won't tender, and that's it. So that's the kind of politics that we want to do. And so no pandering. I'm not speaking to you because you're a Christian or because you're Jewish or because you're a Muslim. Because you're a Canadian first. Canadian first, and that's why we are Canadians, and that's why I speak against extreme multiculturalism. So, I need to stop. I see a lot of questions, but I just want to finish about that. Trudeau wants to celebrate everybody when they're different and different. So it's okay. But what we want to do, we want to celebrate what unites us. That's the most important.
Thanks for taking my question, Max. I'm a raw milk dairy producer here in Alberta. And farmers like me are harassed by government agencies and cannot openly market their raw milk and raw milk products. I think many people here believe in food freedom.
Yes.
Joel Salatin says that when the government gets between our lips and our throat, it is an invasion of privacy. Supply management proponents don't want people like me to operate. When you were in government, you did a great job getting rid of the wheat board. Thank you for that. Farmers are now able to market their wheat to whomever they like. If I were to live in Montana right now across the border, I could openly sell raw milk. In fact, it's legal in over 40 states. We can now smoke what we want in Canada. Why can't my clients drink what they want to drink? What would you do to support raw milk operators like myself and the many food freedom consumers in the room here today?
So I'll do everything that I can at the federal level because, as you know, it's a shared jurisdiction with provinces. But yes, I will fight to end the supply management system, and it's a little bit easier at the federal level because there's a lot of trade barriers that are there to keep them free of competition coming from other countries. So yes, I'm 100% on your side. We need to do that, and I'll work with you and with Canadians to be sure that Canadians can buy what they want to buy.
Going to your foreign aid policy and how you're planning to kind of like retract that, do you think it will have adverse effects on foreign investments, or are you planning to use foreign investment money somewhere else?
No, I think there's no direct link with foreign investment. We are a country that is open to foreign investment. More investment bring more jobs, and we need investment for having an economy of prosperity. So yes, we are open to foreign investment. We want more investment in the telecom industry for having more competition. We want more investment. So that won't change. We need to have more investment. But I forget to say what we'll do for the poor country. You know, if we're not giving them foreign aid, we have a lot of tariff in Canada that we can abolish alone without signing a free trade agreement. We want this country to be able to sell their goods to other countries, to sell their sugar, to sell all their goods. So we have some trade barriers and some tariff, and we must abolish all these tariffs. We don't need to sign a free trade agreement with Côte d'Ivoire. We need to abolish the tariff that we have, and Canadians will be able to buy these goods cheaper, and these countries will be able to export, and if they export more, they do more business, they will become richer also. Yes.
pretty much being between you and Scheer about splitting the vote. And I had a bit of an epiphany on the way here, but I'd just like to hear it from you. If it comes down to you and Scheer running neck and neck, and Trudeau looks like he might be able to sneak in, would either of you, well, you specifically, you can't talk for Scheer, would you cross the floor to support the Conservatives to make sure that the Liberals won't get back in?
No! Don't do it!
I will die before that. If you don't believe in anything, what is the goal? I don't want that. I don't want to waste my time. Your time is too important. My time is too important. We will succeed, and we'll be there. And our ideas will succeed because they're based on freedom, and freedoms always win.
Some of my friends are scared of is when you win the election in probably November, are there words I'm not going to be able to use, or what's the future of the Human Rights Commission in Canada for? How do you see that going?
Yeah, that's another thing that we have to fix. You know, I must admit that I did a mistake. And I voted for the bill. What is the bill? The C-16. Yeah, sorry about that. You know, I had a briefing in Ottawa, and they told me, no, the interpretation, it is not what Jordan Peterson is saying. So yes, I did a mistake. I voted for that bill, and after that, I received a call from Jordan Peterson, and I was meeting with him. He's a good guy. Don't listen to your civil servant. You need to have a briefing about that. So we had a good discussion. And during the leadership campaign, I don't know if you remember that, I tweeted about that and I said, you know, I did a mistake and I hope that this bill won't pass. And now I will fight and do everything for that bill. I didn't want that bill to be enforced. So I won't do that mistake again. So I just want to tell you that.
You always say the truth, and you don't care about people's feelings, you just say the truth. I really respect it when you talked about extreme diversity, and I agree with you about some cultures are wonderful and unique, some parts of some cultures can be dangerous, like executing gays or treating women like second-class citizens. What are you going to do to stand up to, let's say, parts of our multiculturalism? Because some parts of it are good and some parts of it, I believe, are dangerous. What would you change on that?
Yeah, first of all, I think the government must stop subsidies all these multiculturalism spendings. You know, we're spending a lot. If you're, I don't know, a Chinese Canadian and you want to celebrate your Chinese year, so do it. Why I will have to pay for it, you know? I'm not against you. I want the money, the Canadian money, to go to celebrate what unites us. And that's great that you want to keep, you know. I'm a French Canadian, and I like to celebrate the Saint Jean-Baptiste. But I don't want the federal government to give money to the Saint Jean-Baptiste, you know. It's something that Francophone in Quebec like to celebrate. So let's celebrate what unites us, and I think that would be it. But you know, we must be proud. We must be proud. This country has been built by immigrants, and at the end, I'm an immigrant also, you know, long time ago. But you know, we need to encourage, we need to have economic immigrant. People, they were coming here for the freedom, they want to have a better life, and that's okay, and participate in our society. We are open to immigration. We just want to have a little bit less, have a pause there to be sure that these people will have a job that will be good for them, will integrate our society. So, I'm going to tell you still about that actually. Andrew Scheer doesn't want to have a number. Oh no, I won't put a number there. The left-wing media will be against him, so he doesn't want to put a number. But the number that we are saying to Canadians is the average of immigrant that we have under the upper government, 250,000 a year. And having a ratio with more economic immigrant because we need that. And so yes, and we want them to come because they like the Canadian values, the Western civilization values. I want them to share our culture. I want them to participate in our society. Thank you. Yeah.
Not only are you the only opposition in the House, really, but I want to personally thank you for being the only politician that is acting as an opposition to the UN. So I want to thank you for that. Andrew Scheer whipping the vote for the Paris Accord had been mentioned earlier, and there's similar circumstances like Trudeau whipping the vote for C-71 and the like. I'm wondering, when you're our Prime Minister, are you gonna continue with the party line vote, or are you gonna allow your MPs to vote in a free vote manner?
Yeah, the question is, the answer is yes and no. That's a system, and I like that system. I don't want to change that. I don't propose any electoral reform, and I know that it cannot be so good for our party because we're a new party. But this is the system, and we'll try to have a lot of MPs under that system. And in that system, you need to have party votes. But what I want also, I want to have more free votes. And let's have more free vote. We can have that discussion. Free vote on abortion, like I said, free vote on other subjects, free vote on private member. Why a private member bill must be whipped? So it's a private member bill, so let's have a free vote on that. So my commitment is, we won't change everything, but we'll have a little bit more free vote in the House, yes. Yeah, over there.
Just a quick piece of humor and then a two-part question. My recommendation upon you becoming Prime Minister in the next election would be that we nickname the House of Commons the Thunderdome. And my two-part question is, do you still stand by the interview which you gave to the Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights in regards to individuals' ownership of legal firearms?
Yes, and you can see my policy on firearms on my website. It's the same. All the policies that I fight for during the leadership campaign, it is the policy of our party. So yes, for that one.
Perfect. And my next question is, what are your plans in regards to the issues that we're facing with our southern border and basically illegal border crossings that we're facing on a daily basis?
Yeah, so, people are crossing the border in my own province in Quebec, and they're supposed to be in danger in the state of New York. So I don't believe that, and we must fix that. How to fix it? First of all, I think it would be easier for me and for us to sit with Donald Trump to have a discussion about that. We need to face that loophole. It is not fair, and as you know, a principle of our party is fairness. It is not fair that we have there's real refugees waiting in other countries that want to come to Canada for the right reason. And actually, the government is telling us that 60% of these people right now that are crossing the border, southern of Quebec, they will have to go back because they're not real refugees. So imagine how much money we are spending for that, because they will only go back 2 years after they're coming. The process is very long. So we need to fix that, and the way to fix that is to have a discussion with the American. And yes, it will be a priority, and our goal is to be sure that we have an immigration system that is, it is an immigration system that we want. And I don't want to change our immigration system. I want the same one that we had 15 years ago. That's a good system. That was our system, a point system. So we want to go back there, and yes, we fix that. Yes.
A lady.
Thank you. Thank you, Maxine, for coming to Calgary and Alberta. It's very important. But I would suggest one thing that's going to be the most difficult for you, and probably one of the most important things for you in the upcoming election, and if you would have a serious look at it, and that is taking back the Bank of Canada from the bank. I've been following the Russell Galati case in Ontario, where he challenged the Bank of Canada, the government, and the court approved his findings that we should have the Bank of Canada back in the people of Canada. Then Mr. Harper appealed it to the Court of Appeal in Ontario. They also agreed with Russell Galati. Then it was to go to the Supreme Court of Canada, and they said, and I think you're probably familiar with this, they said this is not a problem with the legality, it is a problem with the government. It's their decision. Because in 1974, when Mr. Trudeau, Sr., made an agreement with the bank, with the IMF bank, to borrow the money from them and not from our own bank, and since then we've paid the foreign banks up to $385 billion in interest. It's our bank, and it's up to the Parliament to take it back, not the lawyers. Yeah. So speaking about that, usually speaking about banking, politicians don't like that because the Bank of Canada is independent. We understand that. But every 5 years, the government, the finance minister, has the right to sign an agreement with the Bank of Canada and asking them their priority and telling them their priority. So that would be important. First of all, I want to have an agreement with the Bank of Canada about the inflation target. And that's kind of, I'm going where you want. So inflation target. The Bank of Canada every year, they're fixing their inflation target. Now the target is 2% inflation. But for me, inflation, it's a hidden tax. You know, it's a tax, inflation. So you have the same money in your pocket, but you cannot buy the same amount of goods and services. So it's a kind of a tax. The inflation target must be 0%. And that will help everybody. So my commitment is to be sure you have an inflation target of 0%. You will keep your purchasing power. And also, the huge deficit that the federal government is doing right now, the cause of that, it is huge. Only the interest of our deficit, it's about the same as the budget of our National Defense Department. So around $20 billion of interest that we are paying. So first of all, if we want to solve that, we need to balance our budget first, and like that, we won't borrow money for other banks, and we'll borrow less money, and we want to borrow money from Canadians. But answering your question, there's a reform to do that, and we have the power to do it. Thank you.